Hey guys, this is Dennis, the founder of Think Hero.
And this is Roth, your straight-up reviewer.
And this is our review of Lost Season 6, Episode 4.
The Substitute.
So I really like this episode, especially compared to last week's, which I thought was very slow-paced.
I thought last week's was a little, I think it was problematic in a couple of different ways, but I really like this episode. And Locke is a great character.
Yes.
He is. And Locke 2.0 is turning out to be an interesting character as well. I thought they did a great job paralleling the two timelines, even though they're different entities.
Yes.
A much better job this week doing that than they did last week with Kate.
So we start off with Locke's alternate timeline where things, I don't know, seem a little bit better. He's not out of his wheelchair, but he has his fiance who is played by Katie Seagal.
Yeah, well, he blew it with her because he was on his revenge mission, the timeline we knew.
Yes.
But apparently in this one he made the right choice. But also, notably, it's little evidence that Sawyer will not be a con man because Locke is in touch with his dad.
Yes, that's the thing, is he's not, either he got over his revenge mission or like something different happened where he's in contact with his dad and he wants his dad to be at his wedding.
At his wedding. Let's just get my parents and your dad. That indicates a pretty close relationship.
Yeah, also he had a picture of him and his dad on his desk at work.
Yeah, well, to me, it seems like the whole relationship was now, we don't know how he ended up in a wheelchair. It could have been a totally different set of circumstances that put him in the wheelchair. But he certainly has a relationship with his father, so my sense would be that his father would have been a different person.
Yeah, me too.
You know, and so perhaps that's some evidence that he wasn't that con man who turned Sawyer into who he was either.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see once Sawyer has his alternate timeline episode.
Here's the things, though, that I liked about just the paralleling really quickly. Obviously, it's in the name of the episode, the substitute. He's the substitute teacher, but Locke is also the substitute body for the smoke monster, the man in black. In addition to that, like thematically, what they were struggling with is being trapped. You know, Locke is trapped in the wheelchair, and the smoke monster, the entity, is trapped on the island.
Yeah.
And they're both having this sort of rage against the world thing, like, don't tell me what I can't do. Yeah. And, you know, he literally says, the smoke monster, man in black, literally says that to the boy. Locke is obviously trying to do the same thing, and that's what he had said when they told him no to the walkabout, don't tell me what I can't do. And then he's come to this place of acceptance in the episode.
Yes, with his fiance, like, he just basically says, there are no such things as miracles, and if you want to wait around here and expect me to walk, that's not going to happen.
Right, and so he comes to a place of acceptance with who he is, what he is, and the circumstances, and the circumstances of his life, and that's something that the smoke monster is still raging. He's not obviously in any place of acceptance.
Even the old Locke was not, he did not accept what was happening.
No, he accepted nothing. And I thought what was really cool and interesting was that Jack, it was letting go of Jack that indicated his acceptance.
Yeah, not calling him to get possibly some sort of spinal surgery.
Yeah, it was releasing Jack and whatever Jack represented to him. Yeah.
We also had his encounter with Hugo, who is not called Hurley in the alternate timeline. Who has a new kind of attitude. I mean, deep down, he's kind of a similar person. He's a nice guy, and he's got
a little strut.
Yeah.
A little something.
But his outlook on life is so much more upbeat and positive.
And optimistic.
Optimistic, yeah. And so it's very interesting to see his interaction with Locke.
Right, and then Ben shows up.
Yes.
So now it's that throws everything in question about
the reset.
Well, okay, so does the reset, and it must, the reset goes backwards and forwards in time. It resets the universe, basically, right?
Yeah.
Because otherwise Ben would be dead. So we're to understand that the reset resets everything.
Yeah, instead of a strayed timeline
Yeah.
from 1970s.
Yeah.
It
goes all the way back
Yeah.
to like Dawn of Man, I suppose, and changes the whole game.
So that was the interesting thing, seeing Ben as the European history teacher at the school, because because we had assumed that he had died on the island, you know, with with the hydrogen bomb and stuff like that, and this was a strayed timeline. But this is definitely a new.
It is a game changer.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of games, so apparently we know the whole thing between Jacob and the Man in Black is a big elaborate game, and then we see sort of some physical representation of that with the scales and the rocks.
The white rock and the black rock.
Right, and he takes the white rock and he's like, "You're done," and kind of the idea of balancing the scales or whatever they're representing. So the kid.
Yeah, we don't know who this kid, because originally we had thought that it was a smoke monster, basically being these kind of people, like maybe when people saw like Walt appear. Out of nowhere in the woods. There's been other people who've appeared, and we had assumed that it was just the smoke monster doing that, taking a different form. But the fact that we have Locke / the smoke monster see the kid means that this kid is something else, or could have been.
Maybe not, because Locke before, it sounds like he could have been changing forms before, but now he's stuck. Okay, so one of the theories is that the kid is like the referee between Jacob and the Man in Black, or the judge. But I kind of felt like he was the game player, and they were his two biggest pieces. You know, and he seemed like this, because the Man in Black, Locke 2.0, the Man in Black, was scared of this kid. Right? He was visibly frightened of him, and he's not really frightened of anything else. So to me, that says he's got more power, more control, you know, and he seemed almost like this potentially petulant deity. You know, playing this big elaborate game.
Well, there's definitely the sense that there's someone above both Jacob and the smoke monster / Man in Black, that there's this other entity that either controls them or sets the rules. There's something there, and this boy, maybe he's it, or he's maybe some sort of representation of what this may be.
And the argument between, it seems like the argument between Locke 2.0, the Man in Black, and Jacob was very similar to the argument that Jack and Locke have been having the whole time, which is, it's just a freaking island. You know, that's what he says. He's like, nothing is gonna happen. Yeah. It's an island. Let's leave. And that's sort of been Jack's argument the whole time. Whereas Locke, the real Locke's argument was, no, we have to protect the island, blah, blah, blah. It's this place of miracles. It's special. And so it's interesting to see Locke in the reversed position. Well, he's not Locke, but you know what I mean. That form, it seems like they're having that same argument. And if anything, like, those were the two candidates to replace them, but it doesn't seem like Jacob could be replaced, but I don't know if the Man in Black could be replaced.
Yeah, I'm kind of more on the side that I guess whoever Jacob, or the role that Jacob has, is he's protector of the island, but also he's supposed to help keep the smoke monster there.
Except that the smoke monster, he said he was a man.
Yeah.
He said he'd been trapped there for longer than he could remember, but before that, he was just a regular man.
Perhaps he did something bad and he got punished to become the smoke monster or something.